You are now watching the Pettiford Report, Christian news on demand. Let's get started.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pettiford Report, your Christian news on demand, brought to you by Pettiford Ministries. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a case that is going absolutely viral, absolutely everywhere on the internet. This is a case about a husband, a pastor, charged in his wife's twisted murder. Okay, this is literally all over the place, from CNN to the Law and Crime Network to many YouTubers and all over the place on social media. But this is a very sad case, and we're going to talk about it here on the Pettiford Report. So if you're sensitive to this type of content videos, then I would suggest that you go ahead and click off this video. We're going to be definitely talking about the unaliving of a person. So again, if you're sensitive to that type of material, we will be looking at timelines, at articles, and also a video from the Law and Crime Network. So if you are sensitive to that, then please don't watch this video. Just want to give that disclaimer before we get into it. But this is a crazy story. This has taken place in Ohio. The county is Miami County. It's in a place called Tip City, which is a city in Ohio. Has a population of about 10,000 people. That census took place in 2020. So not a very huge town. So news is going to travel rather quickly in that town. But we're going to talk about it here. Let's go ahead and get into the article. This is coming from the Dayton Daily News. Okay. Actually, let's go to CNN first. Let's go to this article so you can actually see who we are referencing in this video. This is the man right here. This is Caleb Flynn, who has been arrested and accused of the unaliving of his wife. Okay, former American Idol contestant charged in wife's unaliving, allegedly staging crime scene in his Ohio home. This is really a very new story here. Okay, let's get into the article. Authorities in Ohio have arrested and charged a former contestant on American Idol with, you can read that, I can't say all the words, YouTube guidelines here. The S and K of his wife and staging the crime scene to mislead investigators. Caleb Flynn, who's 39, pleaded not guilty Friday to charges of unaliving, assault, and tampering with evidence. I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not a risk, he told Judge Samuel Hoffman in a video of his arraignment from jail. The judge set his bond at $2 million. So this is a serious case here, you guys. $2 million bond, that's a lot of money right there. Ashley Finn, 37, was found unalive Monday after officers received a report of a burglary and a S at a Tip City home. According to a news release by Tip City Police, her husband and 2 children were inside the home when officers arrived. In a 911 call released by authorities, a frantic Caleb Flynn tells the dispatcher someone broke into his home. We're going to listen to that a little bit later. And unalived his wife. He says she was hit multiple times in the head, and he doesn't know whether the intruder was still there. There's blood everywhere. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, he says. We're going to hear that. His attorney, Patrick Mulligan, said in a statement on Saturday, he and Flynn were disappointed and concerned about the short timeline, seeming rush to judgment in this case. Police arrested Flynn on last Thursday. So when the government runs out of leads or can't develop leads and looks at a surviving spouse in cases such as these, the chance of a wrongful conviction increases. And I would say that in these types of cases, especially when there's a husband involved, he's the one calling, they have no suspect, usually in a lot of cases that I have seen, they do have to take a look at everyone that's actually in the house. We know that the kids, more often than not, are not going to be able to do something like this. Holding a gun, aiming and shooting someone, that's most likely not going to happen from a child. So the reason why they have to look at everybody in the situation, one, they actually want to eliminate you from being a suspect. If you are the spouse, they're trying to eliminate you because they don't usually believe that the spouse is going to unalive their husband or wife. They don't usually think that, but they have to eliminate you because you're actually there in the crime scene. You're there. So in order to take your name out of the equation, they have to collect evidence. They have to get your timeline, DNA, all these things to make sure that you are gunshot residue, all these things to make sure that you are not actually the person that committed the crime. So I wouldn't say it's a rush to judgment, but they were trying, in my opinion, trying to eliminate Mr. Flynn from actually being the prime suspect in this situation. A lot of times when they do that, though, unfortunately, they come to the conclusion that, oh, you know what, maybe it was the spouse. I can't tell you how many cases I have watched and talked to my wife about it, about these types of situations where they don't actually want to charge the spouse, but all the evidence is leading to the spouse and they give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm telling you, I have watched case after case after case. You can go on YouTube in the crime section of YouTube and watch case after case. They try to give these spouses the benefit of the doubt. But a lot of times the evidence is so overwhelmingly in the pointing to that person that you got to charge them. DNA, gunshot residue, nobody in the vicinity of the house. There's cameras everywhere, Ring cameras, video doorbells. They don't see anybody leaving or coming or breaking into the home. What else are they going to think? Okay. And if you don't have a reasonable timeline or an alibi or something to say it was not me, you will become the prime suspect. Again, go on YouTube and watch them crime stories, and you'll see why oftentimes they have to do this. Let's keep reading. Tip City Police Chief Greg Atkins defended the investigation, saying in an email on Saturday that it had not moved fast. Rather, it has progressed at a pace dictated by a thorough and deliberate investigative process. Again, they have look. The police job is to find the truth. They get paid, literally paid, to solve crimes. So they have all the time in the world. I'm talking about blood analysis, DNA analysis, any type of investigative tool. They have it at their fingertips. And if they can't figure it out, they're going to call in some of those three-letter agencies, the FBI, the DEA. I forgot the other ones, but they have resources to figure out who committed crimes. Again, there's cameras everywhere. So you literally can't get away with doing a crime. Some people even have cameras inside of their homes, and they forget that the cameras are rolling, okay? You have phones that are recording. Some people accidentally record the crime. So you're not going to get away with crimes in 2026. Ashley Flynn was a middle school volleyball coach and substitute teacher. Tip City School said on its Facebook page. She was known for her beautiful smile, her warmth, her kindness, and the positive impact she had on so many, both in and out the classroom and on the court, the post said. Now, they do also have a timeline, okay, a timeline of events. This was the first article that I was going to do, but I wanted to kind of give a broad overview of what was going on. Now, let's take a look of the timeline, okay, and see what's going on here. A timeline of the Ashley Flynn case and after the husband's arrest. Okay, so within 82 hours of the death last week of 37-year-old Ashley Flynn, a beloved Tip City School volleyball coach, former elementary teacher, and mother to her husband, Caleb Flynn, 39, was arrested on suspicion of unaliving and accused of staging the crime scene to look like a home invasion. Now, these police officers have been working and investigating for years. Some of them for 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know, maybe not 40, but 20, 30 years. And their combined experience, they know what an actual crime scene looks like. They know how guns fall if somebody shoots. They know how blood splatter looks. They know how a crime scene should actually look. And they can tell just by looking at the crime scene if it's staged or if it's real. How was the person holding the gun? How should they fall if they were hit from this angle? They can even tell the angle at which guns have been fired, how bullets actually enter and exit the body. Did the bullet ever exit the body? They can tell so much. This is all that they do is study crime scenes and unalivings. They do this all day long. Okay, so they know how a crime scene should look. Most time, not even most, I'm going to say 99% of the time, you're not going to be able to stage a crime scene and actually get away with it because it's so unnatural to do that. One, you're not going to be focused after you just did this. You're not going to be able to think thoroughly about how should I do this? How should I set this up? You're going to mess up somewhere. And it's a lot of times that one mistake that you make that leads the detectives in the right direction, okay, to allow them to find the actual criminal. Here's a timeline of events as they unfolded. All right, let's check this out. So at 2:31 a.m., officers were dispatched to the Flynn home in the 900 block. Okay, so they were dispatched at 2:31, 2:40. The sergeant alerted detectives to the unaliving. After detectives responded, they contacted the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation to request evidence processing team and made arrangements for Ashley Flynn's family to come get the two daughters. Okay. 4:28, Caleb Flynn agreed to speak voluntarily with police and was taken to the Tip City Police Department. Now, one thing that I'm gonna give you kind of a different perspective, but one thing that I have seen is that do not talk to police without a lawyer present. Even if you are innocent, you know you are innocent. Do not talk to the police without a lawyer present. I have seen this said time and time again. I know we're a Christian channel here, but I got to give you some advice. Don't talk to them without a lawyer because they can use things against you to make you seem guilty, even if you are innocent. Okay, there are innocent people sitting in jail today, right now, for crimes that they did not commit. And they said I'm innocent. I didn't do this. But you can make a mistake and say something that makes them think that you're guilty. So that's just a word of advice that I've heard from others. Also, other retired police officers, as again, you look on YouTube and watch videos, you'll see them saying this type of thing here. Okay, don't talk to the police without the lawyer. Okay, 5:54 a.m., the Tip City Police Chief issued the first press release regarding the homicide investigation and identified the victim as Ashley Flynn. Okay, 11:05 on Monday. Reverend Jordan Hanson, lead pastor at Christian Life Church, the Flynn family's church in nearby Butler, informed church members what happened. Okay, that she passed away. Asked for prayer for the family. This is the family here. Okay, Ashley and Caleb and their two daughters. 11:47, the chief issued a second press release and said this investigation will take time as investigators continue to collect, process, and analyze the evidence. 11:47, the city's manager released a statement. In part, the city manager members are deeply saddened by the tragic events that took place. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Yeah, asking for prayer for the family. So these are the press release coming out. 1:15, the city schools posted a tribute on the Facebook. Okay, so more condolences. That's Ashley there. Okay, so 1:30, another prayer vigil held by the LifeWise Academy, Tip City. Okay, it was a nonprofit, provides weekly Bible-based lessons to public school students off campus. And wow, Ashley Flynn actually taught for that nonprofit. Amazing. Sounds like she was a very amazing, wonderful lady here. Okay, so going into the next day here on Tuesday, Cunningham Court neighbors of the Flynn family expressed shock, sadness, and fear over her unaliving. And one woman said she was installing a security system. Okay, neighbors described the Flynns as an active family, often seen playing outside. Okay, so people kind of giving their statements about what they thought about the family here. Later on Tuesday, the chief issued third press release. In it, he announced that in addition to the BCI, look, I told you, here come them three letters: the FBI, the Miami County Sheriff's Office, and Miami County Prosecutor's Office were assisting with the police department, so they get more agencies involved here. Okay, a little later on in the afternoon, 2:34 on Tuesday, Chief Gregg gave a brief interview to the Dayton Daily News regarding the ongoing investigation. Now we're going into the next day, so they had another about 2 days, 24 to 48 hours here, investigating what happened. Tip City police remain at the Flynn house around the clock. Investigators were seen going in the side door to the garage, okay, as well as the front door. At one point, investigators brought out an interior door, placed it in the back of the pickup truck, and took that, I guess, to process it and see what happened. Okay. A little bit later on Wednesday, a colorful display of red and white ribbons along the main street, okay, in honor of Ashley Finn with biblical messages on it. So, again, recognizing this wonderful lady, okay. Others said they were concerned about the shooting but confident in the police investigation. So now the community is getting involved, really concerned about what's going on. Have they caught the person? They said it was a robbery going wrong, okay. So, look, let's figure out who this is. Open time of prayer with music at the Christian Life Center, their church. That was later on in the evening. 10:30 at night on Wednesday, Chief Gregg issued a press release to dispel rumors circulating that a suspect is in custody and confessed. The release and spread of unverified information is not only untrue, but also deeply detrimental to the Flynn family and unfair to those. So it was some fake news going around, okay, about a suspect and that they confessed. All right. So now we're getting into Thursday. Now this happened on Monday? It happened on a Monday, I believe. Yep. It happened on a Monday. So now we're getting down to Thursday here. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, about 4 days. So we're looking at about close to 72 hours here of investigation. So on Thursday, the Christian Life Center announced the celebration of life. Okay, that'll be held on the 22nd. That'll be a Sunday. A little later on Thursday, Caleb Flynn is booked into Miami County Jail on preliminary charges of unaliving, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. So a little over the 48-hour mark that we kind of hear of, where they try to figure out the crime in 48 hours. We're getting into the 72-hour mark, but they move fast. Okay? Let's keep going. That was at, what time was that? 5. So at 5:45, Chief Greg Atkins issued a fifth and final press release. He announced that Caleb Flynn was arrested on charges of unaliving, felonious, or however you want to say it, assault, and tampering with evidence. So this is now Friday. We're about 5 days in. Felony charges are filed against Caleb Flynn. Unaliving, 2 counts each of felonious assault and tampering with evidence. The court filing had a timestamp of 6:47 a.m. on Friday morning. The court's regular operating hours are 8 to 4. So they made sure to get that in. That's him here, probably getting his bond and whatnot from the judge. We could watch that, but we'll see it in the other video, maybe. So 8 a.m. Friday, Caleb Flynn is arraigned in Miami County Municipal Court by jail video. So that's what this is here. Yep, his bond was set at $2 million. If he posts the bond, he will be on house arrest with electronic home monitoring. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let him have his kids at all with these types of charges. Defense attorney L. Patrick Mulligan in Dayton files a notice of appearance in Miami court indicating he's representing Caleb Flynn. Okay. February 20th, this is Friday again, the 911 call made to Miami is released. And so now we will get into that video. So that's basically the timeline, the full timeline of everything that happened in this case. So let's now get to the video brought to you by Law and Crime Network. Hopefully we don't get flagged for this, but I guess we'll see what happens here. So let's go ahead and tune into this. Okay, again, if you are sensitive to these type of topics, then please click off this video. You kind of have got caught up to speed on everything that is going on so far. The case is just now getting going. You know, he has to go to court. They have to come out with all the evidence. We'll be keeping up with it here on the Pettiford Report. But let's watch this video, okay?
Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my God. Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
New 911 audio behind the alleged bombshell twist that seemingly no one in a tiny Ohio town would have expected.
My wife she got 2 shots to her head.
An arrest in the case of a beloved mom, coach, and wife shot dead in the middle of the night. Police initially said that she was the victim of an apparent burglary that turned violent. Or was she? The man so many people swore would never do something like this is now under arrest and charged with her murder.
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
Understand.
Her husband. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. When I tell you, when this news broke, my jaw dropped. Not only is Ashley Flynn's husband, a former pastor and worship leader and American Idol contestant, charged with her murder, he's accused of going to great lengths to cover it up. I just got the 911 call that was made around 2:30 in the morning from the home of Ashley Flynn. It's her husband on the phone in a panic. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh my God. Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
932 Cunningham Court, Pitt City, Ohio. Please hurry. Please hurry.
That is Caleb Flynn, who claims a burglar came in and shot his wife. He gets specific about it.
What are you seeing?
My wife she got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
All right, ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door.
Did he just say ma'am? Wait a second. I mean, the way he was talking, I mean, let's see. What did he say, ma'am? Let's listen to that again.
Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay?
Yeah, he said ma'am. He thought it was a woman. Yeah, and another thing here is, you know, why were they left alive? If all of them were there, okay, most criminals, at least in the cases that I see, they're not going to leave witnesses, okay? They're going to make sure that everybody is gone. There's no witnesses, no one to give statements on what happened, no eyewitnesses left breathing, okay? So the fact that he was and his daughters were still there, he didn't see anything. I guess, you know, I don't know where the kids were, but the fact that they were left untouched is interesting. And another question I have is, what was actually taken? Did they take anything? A lot of cases, or some cases that I've seen, where someone alleged that somebody broke in and robbed them and unalived someone, nothing was actually stolen. Okay? So they came in to rob you, but they left with nothing. So I'm confused. Was it a robbery or was it a hit? I don't know. But let's keep listening to this.
Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my God. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed.
Are you with her?
I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes, please.
Okay, do you guys have the door locked?
We have the doors to the garage locked, but into the house. Yes, please.
Where's that room out in the house? My partner's getting them dispatched, okay? But I need you to answer my questions so I can get you help as fast as I can, okay?
And he's not thinking about what he's saying in the moment, but his wife is in the bed. So this guy came in, our lady, whoever, came in through the garage. All the doors are locked. Somehow they got into the garage, opened it up, came through the door. No one heard. He didn't hear anything. Okay, no sounds. Came into the bedroom. Where was he sleeping? Hit the wife. Okay, I don't want to say the word. Okay, I'm trying to, keep this video up. But came in, struck the wife, unalived her. Didn't see anyone else or heard anybody else. Ran right back out the garage door, without being seen, and he doesn't see anybody. But now he's found his wife. Where was he this whole time? Where was he at? Again, this is a town of approximately 10,000 people. This is not a huge town. I'm pretty sure they don't have a high unaliving rate in this town. I'm almost certain that they don't. It's a small town, 10,000 people. People, as you saw in the timeline, people were concerned about what was going on because I'm pretty sure everybody knows everybody here, and they want this person to be found. So, yeah, he's not thinking in this situation. He's trying to come up, fabricate this story, allegedly, where he's innocent until proven guilty, okay, in a court of law. But he's not thinking about what he's saying. Where were you this whole time, Mr. Flynn? Okay, where were you? That's my question.
Okay.
What question?
Where are you guys at in the house?
I'm in the bedroom with her right now.
Okay.
My daughters are in their room.
So you are not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even awake. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
So there you see there's a little confusion on the line about where the children are in the home and where he is in the house. And he says that the children are still asleep, even though their mom had been shot by someone he says came into the home and then escaped. It really stands out to me that he is not running into their room to go check on them.
Exactly. This is crazy. This timeline of what happened is crazy, which is why you can see why they charged him so quickly. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, I'm trying to see when did the call actually come in. This call came in at 2:30 in the morning. So he said he was with his daughters. Where are you in the house? Then he's not with his daughters. I'm just confused. This is all happening at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. The daughters are still asleep, and a gun went off inside the house. Gun fire is not something that can be quiet unless they have some type of silencer, and nobody's walking around with a silencer or nothing like that. Okay, you're gonna hear a gunshot. It's gonna sound like some fireworks. It's gonna wake those kids up. They hear a loud bang in the house, and a lot of times they're gonna be scared. They're gonna be frightened as to what is actually happening. But it seems like they're just sound asleep. Just sound asleep. So again, this is not making sense at all.
He just says they're still asleep. Here's what he said about where Ashley is. He says she's dead in the bed.
Are you hearing anything?
No, I rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering.
Okay. Your daughter's not answering you?
I'm sorry. No, hold on. I'm putting on my shirt. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Your daughter's not answering you?
No, they're across the room.
Okay.
In their room.
Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, sir, her face is white as ghost. Please hurry.
Okay. Whose face?
My wife's face.
Your wife's face?
The one who was shot.
She was what?
Shot, I said.
Okay. Where was she shot at?
In the head. I hope there's blood everywhere.
Okay. Is she breathing?
I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God, she's not.
Okay. She's not responding to you?
No.
Police believe what you're hearing in this recording is allegedly an act, that this is the person who shot and killed his wife. That is what he is being accused of. It is interesting that he knows the specific amount of shots that hit his wife. And also notice how he doesn't directly go in to check on the kids. Then at the end of this part of the recording, police arrive.
What do I do?
Is she breathing at all?
I don't think so. There's 2 shots to her head.
Okay. If you are comfortable, I want you to go and find a cloth, and I want you to put a cloth on that gunshot wound, okay?
Like a towel?
Yes, like a towel, but do not apply direct pressure to it. Just put it on that blood wound, okay?
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay?
Again, where are the kids? Okay, if this is actually a burglary, all right. If I'm at home right now, I'm downstairs, and I hear a shot go off upstairs. I'm in fight or flight mode. Number one, I'm running up there. I'm running straight into the danger because my wife is upstairs. My kids are upstairs. I'm running up there. Okay. If I get hit, I get hit. I'm running up there. I'm thinking I might grab something to try and shield myself in case they try and, aim at me but I'm running up there. Our room is first. I'm gonna run in there, babe. You okay? You okay? You know, still trying to shield myself. I'm making sure everybody's good. I'm okay. I'm running. I'm checking for my kids. Y'all okay? Go hide. Go hide. Hide in the, get down on the, I'm doing everything to make sure everybody's okay. He's in the room with his wife. Where are his kids? He's asking him, where are his kids? He's not answering. This is highly suspicious. I'm checking to make sure everybody's okay. If I go in the room and I see that, you know, my wife has been hit and she's not responding, I know she's gone, she's not responding. I'm broke. I'm down. I'm sad. I'm horrified. Fight or flight again. Okay, I know that she's gone. There's nothing that I can do. I'm going. I'm getting my kids. Okay, I see that they're sleeping or they're up. They're crying. Okay, I'm getting them. You need to go hide in the closet. But at least I know that, you know, they're okay. What's next? I'm calling 911. Right? Maybe I should have did that first. But look, I'm in fight or flight. I'm not really thinking. Okay. Next, I'm calling 911. Hey, there's been a shooting. I don't see anybody. There's no one here. My wife been hit. I found my kids. They're okay. They're hiding right now in the closet. What do I do? He don't even know where his kids are at. How is he so comfortable? He know that his wife is gone, but he hasn't went to go check on the kids. Is he really in fear for everybody in the house? If you know someone's already hit, they're not responding, they're gone, you need to go make sure that everybody else is okay. He hasn't even went to go check on his daughters yet. He said, I think they're sleeping. So are you afraid, or are you trying to cover up what you did? Is that making sense to you guys? Is that making sense? Okay, this is a former pastor and worship leader. What happened? What happened? This is all allegedly, right? Okay. He's been charged, but he hasn't been convicted yet. He still got to go through the process. But what is going through his mind? Let's keep listening to this. This is crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
Just get that cloth, and I want you to put it on that wound, but don't apply direct pressure to it, okay? They're coming to you as quick as they can, okay?
I just laid it on her head.
Okay. Where are the juveniles? Are they okay? Have you checked on them?
I haven't checked on them.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
That's what I'm saying. If you are in fear for your life and your family, you will be making sure everybody is good. I haven't watched this video, so I'm just saying what I would be doing. He hasn't checked on his daughters. They cannot defend themselves. Your wife is gone. You can't help her. You can't save her. She's not breathing. She's turned white. She's gone. She's cold. Where are your kids, sir? The dispatcher is like, can you please go find your kids? Are they okay? You see how suspicious this looks? That's why they had to check on him. I've seen, like I said, go and watch true crime stories. You'll see how crazy this looks. You'll see how regular people respond. They would be inconsolable. They probably wouldn't be able to speak. He's clear in what he's saying. Sounds like he's faking, you know. I'm pretty sure he ain't got no tears. I just watched the story before. This guy, you know, he ended up unaliving someone. And they're like, sir, you're crying, but there are no tears. Oh, I'm just dry right now. I haven't drank anything. No, you'll be inconsolable, unhinged, not able to process what's happening. He seems he's doing okay. He sounds like he's crying, but again, it sounds like an act. All right, let's keep listening.
The police is here. The police is here.
Wait, can you go check on the juveniles for me?
Wait, the cops just pulled. They just left. They just left.
Okay, I need you to go check on the juveniles for me, okay?
They're still sleeping. They're still sleeping.
Okay, you still see them breathing? You don't see any wounds on them?
No. The cops just pulled. Sir.
Okay, so if you don't know what's going on, again, where was he in this house? It doesn't look like it was a mansion, like he's in the West Wing and they were in the East Wing. It looked like it's a pretty, nice size house, but not a huge house where he can't, get to everybody. Okay, so or he's not able to get there fast enough, but he's like, are the kids okay? Are they okay? He knows that the kids are okay. How does he know that? Because he allegedly unalived the person that's there. He know he didn't unalive the others, right? If you don't know if they've been hit or not, you'll be running in there to checking their pulse, making sure they're breathing, looking at their chest, making sure it's going up and down, making sure they're okay. He knows they are okay. That's why he's not worried about his daughters. He knows they're fine, allegedly. Okay, I'm just looking at the situation through the lens of a true crime podcaster now. Okay, he knows that they're fine. That's why he's not worried about going in there. He's trying to make sure that the crime scene is set in the room, in the bedroom, where this unaliving happened. Right? He's trying to get all his ducks lined up in a row. He's not worried about the kids because he didn't hit them. Yeah. This is crazy. Let's keep listening.
Sir, the cop is here.
Okay, I want you to... Okay, open the door for him so he can get into her, okay?
Okay, he's coming to me. Sir, please, sir. What? I don't know. The door to the garage door was wide open. I'm her husband. No, I don't think so.
Any murder case is shocking, but it always stands out to me when you look into someone's background and it appears they have never really been in trouble with the law before. And that appears to be the case with Caleb Flynn, former pastor, former American Idol contestant, a dad, and a husband, now accused of murder. I looked him up with truthfinder.com, and it doesn't appear that he has any sort of criminal record. He has a couple traffic tickets, but that's it. Now, we use Truthfinder here at Law and Crime for the public record searches that we do for our stories. It saves us a lot of research time so we can focus on reporting crime, not paperwork. And you can use to two beautiful girls. She was a wife to someone who appeared to be a loving husband, a person who was once a worship leader at a local church, and a murder in a town like Tip City, a small town. Everybody knows everybody. It just is something that doesn't often happen, especially to someone who seemed so beloved by her community. And she knew this community because she grew up there in this tiny town north of Dayton. Ashley's obituary said that she was, quote, a shining light of joy to all who crossed her path, effortlessly encouraging others along the way. Let's be clear. Those are not just some nice words that someone wrote in a memorial. It appears to be exactly who Ashley was, the way that she lived, a way where she always put others first. She was a substitute teacher in the public school system. She was also a 7th grade volleyball coach. And on top of that, she was an active volunteer at her church. And that's why police initially said that it appeared that Ashley was the victim of an alleged burglary that went wrong, that turned violent, that something happened in this home and this person that broke in to take something out of their house had a gun and shot Ashley. Part of the evidence that investigators pointed to were the signs of forced entry into the Flynn's home, but they haven't been specific of what that entry looks like. You heard in the 911 call that the garage door was open. In the words of the Tip City police chief on Monday, as everyone was coming to grips with what had happened, this was, quote, a burglary gone wrong. Police rushed to the scene. They actually put up drones. They enlisted the help of canines to try and track down this person who came into the house, allegedly killed Ashley, and then fled. But there was no sight of a bad guy, no scent picked up by the dogs. Now, let's talk about this marriage, because Ashley and Caleb appeared.
Very, very interesting. I'm going to kind of go forward a little bit here, see if we can get some other news here. Let's check into a little bit later in this video, all right?
Cracked this case. But I want to talk about the investigation and part of it. Tip City, Ohio, small community. They called in the FBI to help. And I'm sure it is very difficult to trick the FBI, and it appears that there was some sort of sign of forced entry. So, and he's accused of staging the crime scene. Let's step back and kind of talk about, I think first, the geography of the neighborhood. And when you approach this case and some of now knowing what we know and what's being alleged, how that kind of factors into all of this.
Oh, I'm really glad you brought that up because I actually love to talk about the geography. I'm going to pull up something on the screen here for us to share and talk about as I go through this. But what I think is so important in these kinds of cases is that we do examine the geography to kind of see if the stories actually fit. So I'm going to just play this little clip while we're talking here that I created this morning. But this is the neighborhood we're talking about. This is the location of the home. We talked earlier about the fact that this home is on a secluded street. There was really only one true way in without having to wind through some streets. And we're kind of outlining that as we look at this.
Yeah.
So we think about someone having to know this specific location, a secondary route. Okay, we can live with that. But the thing that gets so important and interesting is when we think about this being staged, the suspect had to go somewhere after him. We knew that police were serving these searches that they were doing with dogs and drones. And so we have this big field that in our last episode we talked about being so important. But as you kind of pan back to give people around the world who are watching an idea where this happened, this is what's important. I just tried to simulate what a Ring camera view shed would look like, or a doorbell camera view shed would look like in that neighborhood. And so as police were investigating this case, they had to immediately start with ideas like, is it possible that someone could have come into this neighborhood undetected? And when you think about the massive number of people who have doorbell cameras, for instance, then we start seeing things that say, well, that doesn't make sense because nobody's out walking along the street. Then you talk about the actual staging, which I think we'll get into. And that's where law enforcement really starts to say, wait a minute, the story's not adding up.
And I think too, and thank you for putting that together, because it's just like a fascinating look into how law enforcement, here's this story.
Exactly. I'm telling you, you can't fool the police. And there's cameras absolutely everywhere that you will not be able to get away with a crime. But did you see that? Look how they mapped that out. It's, oh my goodness. Like, you're not going to be able to get away with crime. I mean, you can see how there's really nowhere for this person to go. Okay, you can see there on the screen, if you're looking where it says profiling evil on the right-hand side, you see the entrance to this neighborhood. Like he said, it's really only one way in and one way out. They're in a cul-de-sac here. It's leading to a dead end as you come into the neighborhood. It's a bunch of fields around here. Again, this is a very small town in Ohio. Probably a lot of open fields and whatnot in this town. But you can see this neighborhood, and they kind of put up like if everybody have Ring cameras, and which mostly everybody has some type of camera, you're going to get picked up somewhere along this path in this neighborhood. You're going to get seen by some camera here entering or exiting this neighborhood. Okay, it's a lot of cul-de-sacs here. Where are you going to go? And the police responded pretty quickly to this call. So I'm looking here. I see one entrance. If you're looking kind of where this box is on this screen, it looks like that's an entry into this neighborhood. But there's really no other way to get out of there. And if you would have ran out to the field, where's the person going to go on foot? Where are they going to go? There's nowhere to go. It's all open fields, nowhere to hide. Okay, you're going to be seen by someone. And again, everybody knows everybody. Okay, we're talking about 3:00 in the morning, so it's going to be dark. But there's really nowhere for you to go. And there's one. Let's see. This looks like a highway over here on the bottom left of this neighborhood. This screen with the neighborhood right here look like a highway. But again, if they're on foot, where are they going to go on the highway? They're not getting anywhere fast on foot. And if it's a car, you know what I'm saying? If you're parked here on the side of the highway, you still got to cut through somebody's yard, and you're going to get picked up on the cameras if they're operating. And then if you go over here to this small road over here on the other side, where are you going to go over here? Looks like a commercial building. So I'm sure they have cameras that'll pick up a car. So there's nowhere that you can really go where you won't be seen. So with all this evidence, with all these things going on here, they're saying the crime scene was staged. It's going to be hard for him to come out of this unless, this is just some type of master criminal, which, that's hasn't been seen. Majority of crimes that happen once has gone through the process, even cold cases, they have eventually been solved. I know there are still some cold cases out there, but even if it takes 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, with all of the technology that these agencies have, it is very hard to commit a crime and to get away with it. So we're going to be praying for the family, her family, Ashley, Flynn, their kids. We're going to be praying that if Caleb did do this, if he is guilty, that he would recognize his guilt and confess, and deal with what has happened here. Very unfortunate circumstance. And again, we're praying for everyone involved, but we'll be keeping up with this story and providing you with news as it comes available. But again, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Pettiford Report, your Christian news on demand, brought to you by Pettiford Ministries. And we'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a great night. And I pray that the Lord will protect you, will guide you in this life. And please, don't commit crimes. Too many tools that these agencies have. Don't commit crimes, because you will not get away with it. I'm telling you, you won't get away with it. But everybody have a good night, a good day, a good week, and I'll see you in the next video.